Hey, what's up guys, Spike here. So a while back I asked you guys to shoot me some questions for a Q&A that I wanted to do for my 700 subscriber celebration Q&A special. And sorry it's taken so long to put it together, but I wanted to make it interesting and answer questions in a bunch of different places because it's just kind of boring just answering questions at one location. So without further ado, let's get to these questions. The first one is by Eli Moreno, and he asks, why Spike? So, when I was really young, I want to say around between first and second grade, I really wanted a military style crew cut, kind of buzzed on the sides, flat on top. And so when I went to the barbershop, that's what I asked for. But somehow I came out with spiky hair. They completely messed it up. I was really self-conscious for a while, but there was nothing I could do, so I went to school with it anyway. And I started getting called Porcupine, Spike, amongst other things, but Spike is the one that really stuck, really stuck. So I prefer that over Porcupine, and that's how the name Spike came about. So way back in second grade. Thanks for the question. Okay, so Kevin Delgado asks, you go into Fan Expo 2018? And the answer to that question is no. I honestly have to pick my days off, like I have to plan it ahead, and Fan Expo doesn't fit in with the schedule right now. There's like 3 dodgeball tournaments within 1 month that I have to ask off, and it's really hard for me to get weekends off to begin with. So I'm gonna have to miss out on Fan Expo this year. Maybe next year. Vincent Velasquez asks, peanut butter smooth or crunchy? I'm gonna have to go with crunchy because I like texture. I feel like smooth peanut butter gets boring and old really fast in a sandwich, and little bits and pieces of peanuts really goes a long way, so I'm gonna have to say crunchy. Havoc Sosa asks, favorite anime? It's gonna sound cliche, but I'm gonna have to say Dragon Ball because it's one of the animes that I've watched growing up since I was a little kid, all the way throughout, and it's one of those animes that stood the test of time, and it's still going now. So Dragon Ball, hands down, with Cowboy Bebop being a really close second. So good question, Havoc. Jose Marti asks, what made you decide to start vlogging? Kind of the foundation for it all. What was the inspiration? To be honest, I've always liked recording things I do, like not my daily life because it's not very interesting, but if I go to an event, if I go on vacation, ever since I was in middle school, high school, whenever I had access to a camera or even just a photo camera, I like documenting everything I did. I thought it was really interesting, and the earliest vlog I can say that I've made was in high school when I went to Washington DC on a school trip. This was senior year. I recorded everything, the plane ride there, landing, the hotel, sightseeing, everything, and I never put it together as a vlog because I didn't know what a vlog was back then. But maybe one of these days I'll whip out that footage and put it all together. So, and inspiration, there's a few vloggers I watched very early on YouTube, like Fun for Louie. He really inspired me to step out of my shell and kind of vlog and just go for it. And there's a few others, but I won't get into too much detail, but yeah, that's pretty much why I like vlogging. So VietLa asks, have you ever wanted to live in another place other than Texas? If so, where and why? Yes, obviously. Something unrealistic, I would like to live in Tokyo. It just seems like an amazing city. It just looks awesome, and I love Japanese culture, so Tokyo would definitely be a place I would want to live. Let's see, where else? Hawaii would be amazing because I hate the cold weather. I'm not a winter person at all, so I'd like to live somewhere where the climate's a lot warmer year-round, and I hear it never gets cold in Hawaii, so Hawaii would be really nice. An island or a place specifically, I couldn't really tell you because I'm not very familiar with Hawaii, but those 2 places for sure. Thanks for the question, Vietla. Eleuterio Peralta asks, what is a memory from middle school or high school that you cherish the most? I'm gonna have to say high school, and it's gonna be when we took a school trip to Washington DC. It was awesome. It was my first time on a plane, and it was my first time leaving the state to another state pretty much, so it was cool to get to experience that with classmates and friends. So Washington DC was my most cherished memory. Victor Torres asks, can you feel it, man? Man, I feel something. I don't know where it is, but I feel something. Good question. Okay, Stephanie Mays asks, if you could go in any Food Network show, which would it be? Chopped, Beat Bobby Flay, Guys Groceries Games, etc. I think it'd have to be Chopped, for sure. Christina Grimes says, I finally figured out how to subscribe tonight. Not exactly a question, but thanks for subscribing. Favorite superhero and why? I thought about this one a lot, and I'm gonna have to go with Iron Man. Now, the reason I'm choosing Iron Man is because he shows that you don't need superpowers to be a superhero. And you might say, well, Batman is the same way, but no, it's not the same at all. Because Iron Man is a lot wittier, he's funnier, and he's just overall badass. And he's super smart too. I mean, Batman is too, but the technology that Iron Man brings to the table is just top notch and leagues above Batman. And I'm not a very big DC fan anyway, so Iron Man it is. Audrey Blair asks, what is the stupidest thing you've ever done? I'm gonna have to say I've given myself food poisoning, and as a chef that's unacceptable. Sergio Leon asks, pick 6 players that you played with for a dream team. Who would they be? Can't include yourself only because you'd be coaching said team. I think I'd go with Eric Stone, Cody Dan Foley, Cody Stidham for sure. Gonna have to say Francisco Arteaga because he's been there since day one. Let's see. Drew Giovinco, Vince Marchbanks. So yeah, that's my 6 that I play with. Vaughn Kelly asks, who's your Dodgeball South Region top 10? That's very easy.
Dylan, and Dylan, because I spit hot fire.
So Jake M. Hebert asks, what's a guilty pleasure of yours? I'm gonna have to say chips, because I usually go by a really strict diet. I'm really hard on myself, but I love crunchy, salty snacks, so chips are definitely a weakness, and I try to avoid them as much as possible, but I eat them a lot. So yeah, thanks Jake. Erica Moreno asks, I think I've asked this before and never got a response. Why go from rapper to chef? Well, I feel like the rapping thing was a phase, but it didn't exactly pay the bills when I was in high school, but it was some sort of income, selling mixtapes for $5 a piece. Made a decent amount of money, but overall you need a steady income, and I love cooking, so the chef route was the obvious choice. So, a rapping chef, maybe? No? Okay. Joshua asks, are you going to QuakeCon 2018? Yes, I am, and I will see you there, dude. Can't wait. Okay, this next group of questions is from Hans Dwight, and he has a few, so bear with me. The first one is favorite cuisine to eat. Hands down, Japanese food. Love Japanese food. It's very light. The technique to making Japanese food is something I really like, and I like to practice because Japanese food just doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of practice, time, and effort to perfect it, so I like that. I want to add that to my arsenal in my craft, and it's something I practice a lot, try to at least. Favorite cuisine to cook? I'm gonna have to say a fusion of Asian flavorings and Hispanic foods, so I guess you could say fusion, so Mexicanese food, pretty much. Love it. I like pairing flavors and techniques from each country and putting them together. I think it's something very interesting, so I love doing that. So favorite food trend? That's a hard one. I want to say my favorite food trend has been food trucks, because lately food trucks are much more than just a place to grab a bite to eat. They have been really stepping up their quality game, and you can get Michelin star type meals in on food trucks now. Before it was just grab a taco, grab a quick sandwich, very entry-level food, and now it's getting very advanced. A lot of flair is put into food trucks now, so definitely food trucks. So get a high-end cuisine on the fly. Very cool. Have I smelled what The Rock was cooking? Once. It was fucking disgusting. Don't ever smell what The Rock is cooking. If you competed on Chopped, would you make a bread pudding for dessert? That's gonna be a big fat no, because yeah, that doesn't really work out too well for a lot of contestants. I'd want to go for something a little bit more creative. Really appreciate all the support that you show me, Hans Dwight, and thanks for the questions. Alright guys, I think I answered most of your questions, if not all. Thanks for all the feedback, for all the support, for getting me to 700 subscribers, and here's to 300 more. Let's get me to 1,000, and I'll do another Q&A then, hopefully with more questions and a cooler video. But thank you all, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Hit that like button, subscribe. Peace.